Oh yeah, what's up? Yeah, I'm a little bit behind on my album, surprise, surprise. So I just wanted to make this video kind of a two-parter thing. One, to be kind of like a progress update on my album for anyone who gives a fuck, and also to kind of talk about this problem that many of us have, which is if no one's depending on us, sometimes it can be a little bit tricky to stay on any sort of schedule, you know what I mean? I don't have anyone depending on me to get my album done. I mean, I know there's people, that are interested in these videos, and I appreciate that if that's one of you. There might be a handful of people that are looking forward to the album, but this is basically a passion project for me. This is just where I kind of get to play around with the things that I've learned and just do whatever I want on my own project. So it's mostly for me. So in that regard, I don't need to finish it ever, but I want to finish it. So that's why I have a schedule that I'm trying to follow. So I gave myself a 2-week extension, and that's just about up. So I'm going to show you where I'm at now. This is looking a little messy. I apologize. If you've been following along with this series, you will see kind of how I put this together. But some of the colors mean different things now. All of these goldish looking regions are songs that they're just ready for the next phase. I don't have to fuck with those anymore in this current phase where I'm at. And the red ones, I'm like, those aren't going to make it. I might cannibalize some stuff off of them, but I don't need to fuck with those anymore. The green ones are mostly done as far as being a skeleton, but they're a little bit too rough for me to include. I'm not ready to move on to the next phase on these ones yet. So if we tally up everything, I've got this little handy click up thing. This is just to kind of help me visualize without going into Cubase what I have going on here. So I've got 10 skeletons that are ready for the next phase and 8 skeletons that need a little bit more work before they're quite ready. In 3 days, I need to stop working on this phase and pick the top 15 song ideas that I want to start turning into demos. Because right now these are really rough. I'll show you. There's some weird MIDI instruments, but this is all stuff that's meant to spark ideas for me as I'm working on them in demo form. You get the idea. It's really rough. It's really rough. You get it. So it needs some fucking work. That one, I don't know if it's going to make it or not. This one definitely isn't. It's cool, but it's not as cool as the other stuff. You know what I mean? So any ideas that are in here that don't make it into the album? There's stuff. I mean, I might cannibalize some of this stuff for the stuff that does make it into the album, but anything that is left over that I don't end up using, I can return that back to my riff database and use it in the future or on another project, or, if somebody needs some riffs or whatever, I can throw some riffs at them or whatever, that kind of thing. Whatever. So once I have my top 15 song ideas, I'll turn those into demos, and then you can kind of see there's like an ascension here. We're starting with 25 super rough ideas, and that the reason that they're super rough is because we don't want to put a shit ton of time into little details that don't matter. A super rough demo is all you really need to know if an idea is really worth turning into a demo or not. So that's basically where I'm at now. I've got like 18 solid fucking song ideas. I'm going to choose the top 15 to turn into demos. 5 of those are going to get cut when I hack it down to 10 songs. But again, we're saving time we're working on like the creative shit right now, and we're putting all the technical shit and like trying to get everything perfect. We're putting that aside so that we can focus just on writing and creativity. That's why I compartmentalize things like this. There's only so much fucking time in a day, and I only have so much available time that I can work on my own projects. So I'm trying to work kind of efficiently while still delivering some solid fucking shit. And so far, I'm fucking pretty stoked, dude. So despite being behind where I'd actually like to be, I'm actually super fucking stoked with how things are coming out already. And this is my first time really working on an album this way. On the surface, it probably seems like way more work because I'm writing way more material. But the way that I'm doing this, it doesn't really feel like work at all. And this has just been really awesome. I'm never really struggling at any point. I'm just putting in, I wouldn't say low effort because there's, it's a lot of work putting this all together, but I'm not struggling creatively in any way. It's just basically happening. And then as things develop, I'm keeping things compartmentalized, working on riffs and arrangements and, that kind of stuff. stuff. So I'm never really like bouncing around at all. I'm just, focused on whatever task I happen to be on at that time. And that's been keeping things really easy. And it's had like this really cool effect where, I'll just be working on like a song here, a song there, whatever. And then when I come back through and listen to stuff, it's almost like, oh shit, this is fucking sick. I'm never really going deep or going down any rabbit holes on any of this. Like at any point of resistance, I go to a different song and I start working on that, or just a different project completely. And so everything has felt really fun and creative. And like this whole thing has just been like a playground. Like I'm just coming in here and messing with stuff. If I don't have an idea on a guitar, I'll try something on a synth or a bass, whatever. I'm just having fun at this point. And it's all been super, super easy. And it's really coming together really awesome. The other part of this video, I wanted to talk about some tips on how to get some things done when no one else is depending on you to get those things done. So number one, this is probably the biggest one and probably the one that nobody's gonna fucking want to do, but do it the first thing in the morning. And I know like a lot of you will be like, oh man, but I'm a night owl. And that's totally cool. If you have a life that permits you to be a night person, that's cool. But like for the rest of us that, we have to, wake up kind of early and then the day starts just throwing bullshit at us like immediately right after we get out of bed. That kind of person, you are not going to be able to do this in the afternoon or in the evening in the way that a lot of other people might. You should do it in the morning before life starts throwing bullshit at you. And then that way it's definitely going to happen. Because usually what really normally happens is you're like, dude, today after work, oh man, I'm gonna smash that fucking album. I'm gonna fucking get so deep into that motherfucker. And then, something happens before work, oh man, this thing's going on. Hey, after work, can you do this thing? Oh yeah, sure. You go to work, stuff happens, your energy level starts dropping. And then you get off work, you go do some bullshit, whatever the and then you get home, man, you're kind of tired. Maybe you're hungry, eat some food, stuff happens. And then it's like, you know what, man, I'm kind of tired. I don't really have the creative energy. Maybe tomorrow, I'll get on it tomorrow, definitely. And then tomorrow happens, the same shit happens. So do it the first thing in the morning. Don't look at your phone. Do not look at your phone. Wake up, work on your the thing that you love, and then let the day start throwing bullshit at you. But not until you fucking do your shit first. Okay, so we got to get back to my list. I got sidetracked. 2, let the people in your life know that it's important to you, so they won't just walk all over it. If they don't really understand what it means to you, they might not give you the time that is necessary. And I mean, it's a two-way street. Don't completely ignore everyone in your life to make this happen, but, let everybody know that it's important to you and try to work out a schedule with them. It's all about balance. It's a balancing act. Number 3, schedule it. Just put it on a schedule. If it's in your calendar, you're going to be way more likely to do it than if you're just going to try to shove it into some free time. Guess what? Free time doesn't exist anymore. It's 2023. So just put it in your calendar and it'll be more likely to happen. If you don't use a calendar, just make it part of your routine. Every day at, 6 a.m., I work on my fucking metal project or something, whatever works for you. It's better to do a little bit every day than a whole day every month. You know what I mean? Just, you want to kind of stay immersed in the thing that you are creating, because the more immersed in it you are, like your brain's just going to stay in that mode. Even if you're going to work, you're probably still going to be thinking about it. Make it a habit. Replace something else in your life with this thing. There might be something that you do that's like not really helping you in any way towards any of your goals. Maybe you're on Facebook for way longer than you should be each day, or Instagram, insert whatever, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, Netflix. Remove 30 minutes of that out of your life every day and replace that with this project that you love. Boom. You just found 30 more minutes in every day. You're welcome. All right, set deadlines. If these deadlines don't mean anything in the real world, give them meaning by punishing yourself for missing the deadline or rewarding yourself for meeting the deadline. And that could be any way that you want to do it. You got to give yourself a beer if you met the deadline or whatever. Maybe you drink beers every day. I don't know. So maybe that wouldn't be a great thing, but whatever. You get to drink 2 beers if you meet that deadline, 2 beers in a row, or maybe you do that every day too. You can punish yourself if you don't meet a deadline, smash your balls with a rock or a hammer, or, don't let yourself drink that beer that you normally drink, something like that. You could be imaginative. The sky's the limit. Another way to help yourself work on your passion projects is if you can find a way to work on them outside of your, studio. Not every kind of project has like a studio, but, if you have a way to internalize your creative process to where you can basically daydream it. I know that probably not everybody has that ability, but man, it really helps out. Like one of my old jobs, basically every job I've ever had, I'd be daydreaming riffs in my head. And then, if you get a spare minute or two and you got like a piece of paper and a pencil or a smartphone in your pocket, if you're allowed to have that, you can do a voice note. If you're not allowed to have a phone at your work, if you have something that you write with as part of your job, like scratch paper or something, you can usually write little tablature ideas. I used to write, before smartphones were a thing, I would write basically my own version of drum tablature. I don't really know how to read drum notation really, but I'd make up my own thing that basically looks like drum programming, like on a piano roll with a grid and everything, and then stuff that in my pocket and then go home and actually program it and see how it sounded. And usually it would sound how it did in my head and it'd be fine. Some other updates, I guess. I have a Patreon now. If you would like to support this type of stuff, I would super appreciate it. Or if you'd like to buy me a beer or whatever, that's a good way to do that. Or if you'd like to do like a one-on-one coaching thing with me, you can join my Patreon, and I have a tier that is specifically set up for coaching calls with production and stuff like that. So if you're relatively new to this production game and you want to learn from more of like a one-on-one thing rather than video tutorials or courses or whatever, hit me up. That's my Patreon thing. You also get a bunch of cool stuff, exclusive content, and early things. And as this album gets closer, I'll probably be posting a bunch of clips of unfinished material there too. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. If you're not interested in it, don't check it out. Don't check it out if you're not interested. All right, that's it. This video's done, I guess. So, video over.